The galaxy watched in awe, in horror, in disbelief. For millennia, empires had waged wars of attrition, slow campaigns of conquest. Humanity fought like no other species. Humanity fought to end. And everywhere the message repeated, broadcast into the void. This is your final warning. The Dominion shattered. The climax came not in one system, but in all of them. The Zalrek homeworld, once thought untouchable, was encircled by human fleets. Entire constellations were choked with Earth's warships. They blocked suns with their numbers, an armada so vast that even ancient species trembled. The Zalrek High Council pleaded, insisting that humanity would not dare destroy a capital world. That such an act was unthinkable. That Earth was too moral, too civilized, too bound by galactic law. And then the bombardment began. It was not wild destruction. It was deliberate, merciless precision. Orbital defense platforms detonated within minutes. Fleet yards collapsed into fire. City spires cracked under the pressure of rail slugs that fell like the hammer of gods. The humans did not speak during the bombardment. There were no broadcasts, no chants, no threats. Only silence and the endless roar of annihilation. By the time the bombardment ceased, the Zalrek Dominion was broken. Its fleets destroyed, its leaders executed, its colonies liberated or burned. The galaxy had witnessed many wars, but none like this. The aftermath whispers in the dark. The flames burned out, the dust settled, the skies cleared. In the aftermath, there was no declaration of conquest, no flag planted over Zalrek ruins. Humanity did not demand tribute, did not seize territory. They simply left destruction in their wake and a single message carved into the ruins of the Zalrek throne. Never again. The galaxy shivered. If humanity had wanted an empire, nothing could have stopped them. If humanity had wanted conquest, the stars themselves would already kneel. But Earth had no desire for domination. Only justice. And the galaxy understood the lesson carved into their bones. Humanity's patience is vast, their diplomacy endless, their restraint legendary. But their vengeance is infinite. From that day forward, whispers carried through every station, every council chamber, every war room. No warning, Earth will send its final one. And no one, no empire, no warlord, no conqueror, ever dared to test them again. It began not with war, but with contempt. The Korthari Dominion had long looked upon Earth as a curiosity, too young, too soft, too obsessed with peace to matter in the grand theater of galactic power. To them, humanity's colonies were scattered sparks in the void, weakly defended, and almost laughable compared to the great armadas of older species. So when the Dominion's patrol fleet intercepted the human envoy convoy, there was no hesitation, no consideration. The attack was swift, merciless, and deliberate. Diplomats, scientists, and their escorts, all slaughtered without warning. The Korthari captain broadcasted the massacre across the relay networks, his voice dripping with disdain as the footage of burning human vessels played. Let this be a reminder. Earth's words are wind. Their fleets are shadows. They send their voices into the stars, but they carry no teeth. The galaxy bows to strength, not sentiment. And today, Earth has been reminded of its place. Human blood boiled in silence, but the Korthari only laughed. To them, it was done. To them, humans had been put in their place. The Feast of Mockery. The Dominion celebrated. In the shining halls of their capital, the leaders raised toasts to their victory. The death of Earth's representatives was replayed like a piece of theater, an act of dominance to amuse the highborn. Earth will send no reply, the viceroy said, lounging upon his throne of crystal. They value harmony. They will seek diplomacy even as their bodies burn. Their weakness is their virtue, and their virtue is their doom. Around him, nobles and warlords roared in cruel laughter. They remembered the Terran fleets, outdated, patched-together warships used mostly for defense. They remembered Earth's endless appeals for cooperation, its peace treaties and trade councils. What could such a world do in retaliation? Some suggested the humans might whimper to the Galactic Council, begging for sanctions or negotiations. Others said they might hide behind allies, hoping to avoid confrontation. But no one, not one voice in the Dominion halls, suggested that Earth would raise its hand in wrath. The silence before the storm. And so the galaxy waited. They expected statements, mourning, perhaps another naive call for unity from Earth's leaders. Instead, there was nothing. Days passed, then weeks. The transmissions from Earth ceased. Trade convoys withdrew. Human colonies went dark, their communication channels severed, their ports shuttered. Humanity, it seemed, had withdrawn into silence. The Dominion interpreted this as fear. They cower, one admiral sneered as he watched Terran sectors grow quiet. They hide in their cradle, waiting for us to forget. But they forget, we do not forgive weakness. Yet others began to feel unease. That silence was not pleading. It was not broken cries for mercy. It was calculated, purposeful. The quiet of a blade being sharpened behind closed doors. And then, a single transmission appeared across the networks, broadcast in Earth's tongue, translated into every galactic language. No warning, you gave none, this is ours. It lasted 3 seconds, just 3. And then the stars began to move. The black horizon. They came without fanfare, without announcements, without the ritual declarations other species made before war. Human fleets poured from the void like shadows, their hulls black as obsidian, their drives masked until they were already upon their prey. The Dominion's patrol fleets vanished first. Entire squadrons cut from the stars, their signals replaced by silence. Colonies along the border lit the night skies with fire as Earth's dreadnoughts descended, massive constructs unseen for centuries. The galaxy had forgotten what humanity was capable of. The Korthari had not fought humans in open war. They had only seen the diplomats, the merchants, the explorers. But buried deep in Earth's history was a truth they had ignored. Humanity was forged in fire, raised in conflict, baptized in endless cycles of war. And while Earth longed for peace, it had never let go of its arsenal. Now those arsenals awoke. Orbital strikes fell like judgment from the heavens. The Dominion's defense stations, built with arrogance and complacency, collapsed under kinetic barrages that turned continents to glass. Human warforms, towering steel giants, marched across scorched soil, their weapons singing with the fury of centuries of restraint unleashed. It was not just retaliation, it was revelation. Fire that spoke louder than words. The Dominion called for reinforcements. They gathered fleets, armadas numbering in the thousands, confident still that weight of numbers would break the Terrans. But Earth did not fight as they expected. Human fleets did not form tidy battle lines. They hunted like predators, silent and precise. They struck supply chains, crippled communication relays, shattered infrastructure. They did not waste words. They did not demand surrender. They gave no warning. Every Dominion fleet that engaged them was erased, not beaten, not routed, erased. Witnesses spoke of Terran dreadnoughts that blotted out suns, their hulls layered with weapons unseen by modern science. They told of frigates that vanished into slipspace only to reappear inside the heart of enemy formations, tearing them apart from within. And always, the same message appeared on shattered comms before annihilation. You gave no warning. It was not just a reply. It was a mirror held to the Dominion's cruelty. Every act of human vengeance was a reflection, an answer written in fire to the arrogance that began it all. Dominion's fall. The war did not last long. Weeks, not years. The Dominion's empire, vast and proud, collapsed under Earth's relentless strike. Planets once shining with industry were left as husks. The throne of crystal upon which the Viceroy had mocked Earth was reduced to dust beneath orbital bombardment. Survivors fled into the void, whispering in terror of the Terran fleets that hunted without pause. They no longer laughed at Earth. They no longer boasted of weakness. For they had seen the truth. Earth had been patient, restrained, hopeful for peace. But when pushed beyond forgiveness, its fury was boundless. Its vengeance was not tempered with mercy. Where the Dominion once ruled, silence reigned. And in that silence, only one lesson remained. The ashes of a warning. The galaxy trembled. Other species watched, frozen in dread. Some had mocked Earth just as the Dominion had. Others had simply underestimated it. Now they all understood. Earth had given no speeches, no proclamations. It had not paraded its power or demanded tribute. Its retaliation had been simple, absolute, undeniable. In the aftermath, as the smoke of burning worlds drifted into the void, one phrase spread among the stars, whispered in fear by those who survived. Never provoke Earth again. Because Earth had spoken its final warning, and it was written in fire.